So I'm so excited to introduce our next panelist, Ashley Bommarito. And I will tell you, so we'll talk a little bit more about this later, but I attended this same event a month ago, and it was Ashley's panel that really, that I feel like resonated with me the most. So I'm going to let Ashley introduce herself, and I'm going to turn it over to her right now. Thanks, Ashley.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Feedback. To the first time. Well, I'm Ashley from the Raleigh market. I am on a team, which is in my speech, but I've been on a team for almost 8 years, and I am excited to bring this different perspective to you today about being on a team, and we'll go from there.
Hit your new share button now.
Huh?
Hit your new share.
Hit my what?
Should be good. Yeah,
good.
She's on. Okay, perfect.
All right. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is it's not what you're giving up, it's what you're gaining. And by that, I'm talking about being on a team. So anyone that's listening, if you are a team leader, I want you to listen to the type of content that I'm bringing, because it's coming from a team perspective, a team member who wants to grow, who wants to make sure that I have a self-identity. And team members, sometimes we feel that we're taking the brunt, that we're giving up things, but I want you to challenge yourself and to look at what are you gaining. So a little bit about my background. I started with Call Group in 2016. I was the closing coordinator there for almost 4.5 years. I managed 70 to 120 transactions a year. I was doing everything. I was negotiating inspections, appraisals, scheduling the attorneys. So basically the agent could just drop it on my desk. And that's when we just had a few agents. And now that we have 60 and going to do 1,000 transactions, the back end's a little bit different. But during that time, I sold 5 to 10 homes a year on the side. In 2020, I sold 25 units, 11 million. You can read the screen. It's gone up and then down. And the thing is, I'm not saying this to go, oh, I've sold all these units, I've done this much in production, but to tell you that on a team, you can do a lot of volume. And mine went up during COVID. I started my real estate selling career the month before COVID hit with a 3-year-old, not knowing what I'm doing, leaving a salary. So that was pretty scary. And I was able to sell 25 units that year. And then the next year I thought, well, what does a top producer make? 20 million? Okay, that's going to be my goal. Well, I did that. And what I found is that I don't need to do it again. That's not what drives me. And you can see that my production in 2022 went down a bit because my my perspective changed, and I shifted my attention somewhere else. So I'm here to change the narrative on being on a team. I think a lot of people think if you join a team, you're giving up something. You can't make that, they're taking it from you. You're getting 50% of the, commissions. You can't have a self-identity. And I think that being on a team could be one of the best financial decisions that you make. We know that 90% of agents leave the business. They struggle. They're independent sometimes on their own. They don't have a community. They don't have anyone to help. And so if you find that someone's struggling with the market being as fluid as it is, a team might be a good option for them. And it doesn't take away their self-identity. It actually surrounds them with more people and gives them more leverage. Another thing that we talk about all the time, and we learn this at multiple conferences we've been at, you can have ego or you can have money, but you can't have both. I don't care that my name's on the sign. I like that my leads are coming in. I can get on the leads if I want to. I can pull myself back. I can run my business and service my clients because that's where I belong, in my customer service driven, relationship creating, crazy mind. And I don't want to go out and find the leads. And one of the things that Tina spoke about and that we talk about all the time on our team is the leads that we're able to obtain, the leverage that we have with the staff, with our closing coordinators, listing coordinators, and the leadership that we're able to tap into, not only on our team, but to create for ourselves. So I've been on the team again for 8 years. We started with 2 people down to 1. And then I jumped in and started selling a little bit more because we had leads that no one was able to service. And I've seen a lot of people come and go. And I will say the one common thing that keeps people around is they're bought in. They're bought into what the team is. They know the value and they don't worry about the money that follows. They do their job. They come to the meetings, they share, they participate, and they don't worry about what that check ends up being. And so people The reasons that, agents don't join teams are splits. They don't want to lose their self-identity, and then ownership, because sometimes that next leap is team member to individual owner to now broker owner starting a team. So I want to challenge those three things that I hear all the time from agents that are not looking to join a team. So I will tell you, as a team leader, if team members are coming in and the first question they're asking you is, what are the splits? And they've asked that multiple times, they're probably not a good hire. And what's funny about this conversation I'm having is I'm on a team. And of course I look at splits, because who doesn't? But if you come for splits, you leave for splits. If you're never bought in from the beginning and you don't see the value, that's probably not a team member that you're looking to keep on your team. And what Tina spoke about earlier is our agents own 50% of the business that took Tina 10 years to build in the Raleigh market. So I can come into her business and I own 50% of her business, not her giving me 50% of that business. And I think we're not always coming, but I see a lot of times people coming from the lack instead of abundance. And we talk about money on our team. We talk about wealth building. What does the team make? We are transparent. And I think that's one thing that helps people stay on the team, because we do make $2,200 a transaction as the owner. And I know that up front, so nothing's hidden. I know that they're paying for certain parts of staging, for photos, for measurements. I know that that money is going somewhere, and I don't have any of that risk. And another thing, on our team, our average price point is between 500 to 700 to upwards of $1 million for some agents. And so there were some agents that I've talked to that just couldn't get above that 100,000 mark. They just couldn't get above 300,000 on the home sale. And so if you join a team, the right team, you potentially can elevate your price points based on what those teams are already doing. And this was something that was an aha moment, actually, when we did this conference last month, when I was driving down here. I was thinking, could my split actually be much higher than 50-50 because of my proximity to Tina or to Anna or to Allison? Because how much would it cost me to pay for individual coaching for them? It's very expensive. People are paying $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 a year to be coached by these top agents in the market. So does my split now go to 65% because their proximity, their one-on-one coaching to me is worth another 15? I think that's something to think about. I love my team because it's low risk and high yield. I don't have any expenses. If a listing doesn't sell, if something doesn't go through, the team takes the brunt of those expenses and I'm not out that money. Marketing, social media, all the things that they put in place, the risk is on the owner, and I can come in and plug and play. So same thing I said earlier, if you know any agents that are potentially leaving the business because they're an individual agent, a team might be the right thing for them. So self-identity, a lot of people have come to me and said, like, how do you, feel like you're part of this team, but you can still build yourself? And I always say I run my business through call group, but I'm my own brand in this lane. I don't care if it's my name on the sign, because I leverage others on my team to build my business. And agents on the teams, they just want to be heard. We have good ideas. We just want you to hear us out. We know that not everything we talk about, changing a split or a sphere or something we can implement on the team, is actually going to happen. But I think just having that listening ear and acknowledging what a team member is saying will get your team further and potentially increase their production. So myself, I like to host trainings. I lead paid social media masterminds. And soon I'm hoping to launch a coaching program, because I've had so many people call me and want to, coach with me, whether it's inspections, crafting offers. I have 8 years of knowledge, and that is hard to give to someone that's brand new. They have no idea what they're doing. And so I love it. And I would love to start doing that more. And I can still do that on the team. I don't have to feel that I can't just because I'm not an individual agent. I'm on a 60-person real estate team. And of course, the comparison game is very difficult. I mean, we have people on our team that have already sold 50 homes this year and are on track to sell 80. We have agents that are at 5 or 10 brand new. I'm somewhere in the middle. And it took a long time for me to be okay with that and say, I don't have to be that top producer because I'm doing other things. I contribute in other ways. And I think that's what's nice about a team is everyone has their own lane. They can help, they can train, they can coach, or they can put their head down and make phone calls because everyone can do what they need to do. At some point, most team members grow. They find their ceiling and it's time to leave. And that's what we talked about, team member to potentially individual agent to now broker owner starting their own team because they need leverage. So ownership, that next step on the rung. I am actually running an EXP organization with now over 106 agents. There's zero overhead in that for me, which is amazing. And I get to coach and train and pour into these people and talk to them at 9 p.m. at night, help them craft an offer, help them with inspection reports. And I am still on call group running my business and running my real estate business for the income generated there. And now I have this other lane that I can run and help others build their business and tap them into what we have. Again, I'm building that team with zero overhead. I pour into them. We run conferences. There is some financial, things that we do to build the team. But as far as having an office space and doing all the things that would cost me $50, $60, $100,000, I don't have that. So I'm able to be very nimble and go where we need to go. The reason that we have that coaching pay in there is that I'm able to dedicate my time. I can take time away from my sales that I need to do to pay my bills, and I can lead weekly mastermind groups. I can coach them. I can take those phone calls because I don't have to be selling all the time. So I think, true ownership in a company has changed the way I view it. And one of the things that actually changed my trajectory in the business was at a conference where they said, at this company, there's no middle management and you can be a leader if you want to. And I stepped up and decided that I was going to be a leader, that I was going to coach and train other agents, that I would take it wherever I could. And I would tell my story and how, Tina was able to have the foresight 4 years ago to give a team member the same ability that she had, which would usually never happen. So I have the same ownership ability as a team leader running a $10 million brokerage team and potentially be able to keep adding to that and have a 200, 300, 400 team member team, which is really astounding. So one thing I love. So I invite you guys to shift your perspective and imagine on a team, it's not what you're giving up, it's what you're gaining.